I have fell behind many times when the expectations of when I wanted to achieve a physique goal or a calisthenics skill didn't happen. It is the end of December, and like always, the end of the year makes people start reflecting on their failures or how their expectations and deadlines weren't met. As a result, I think it is good giving a different perspective on these calisthenics, weightlifting, or physique goals that will hopefully give you a broader perspective. When you set a new goal, it's reasonable to make a time frame and a deadline. However, setting deadlines when you don't even know the rate of progression of your body or of the goal itself, then you're up to a journey of frustrating deadlines that are never met. You start doubting yourself or even asking if it's worth continuing. Can you even achieve it? You heard that some people have achieved your desired goal in the time frame you set for yourself. Maybe they have a longer time working out than you do, or they have a bigger background of sports. Either way, they have an advantage you don't. Your body simply didn't adapt as fast as them. It could be that your training is not as good. However, so as long as you understand the training principles of whatever you want to achieve, whether it be absolute strength, muscle building, or calisthenic skills, then the rest is just a matter of consistency, training hard, and total time spent. But maybe your training is good enough, and your perspective about your training goals are skewed. Most of the fitness industry is about comparison and authority. Beginners want results as fast as possible, the most optimal way. As a result, they will only listen to the best of the best, even if the person that they are listening to are human beings with interests and needs, who can lie, not gods who know it all. When it comes to goals and progression, beginners will always ask, when can I achieve this? The people that know the least about something are the ones who always desire a definitive answer that will answer it all. In this case, the beginner expects a definitive answer from the fitness influencer or coach. The coach then has no other choice than to be dishonest because otherwise he will lose authority. As a result, it is important for the fitness coach to give a date. If the answer of when can I achieve this is I don't know, then his figure of competence will disappear. If you were to ask a question and the first answer somebody tells you is I don't know, then your first impression will be that he is incompetent, and naturally you won't listen to an incompetent person. All answers to the question of when can I achieve this are predictions and estimations. Of course, the easier the goal, the easier it will be to correctly predict when you are going to achieve it. However, most of these sorts of questions tend to be about harder goals that are harder to predict. The most sensible answer to a difficult goal to achieve will be I don't know. Because setbacks can happen, life can happen, and now you can't spend much time on training because you have other duties. Or maybe like me, you injured yourself. As a personal example, in the middle of this year, 2025, I was able to do 10 to 12 sets of handstand push-ups every other day without much problem or fatigue, with my rep max being between 12 to 14 reps on the floor. Back then I thought that by the end of the year I will reach my goal of 20 reps in a row. However, in the middle of the year I injured my left shoulder. Around 5 months have passed and now it is December. My injury has healed, but my volume capacity and overall overhead press strength has decreased substantially compared to the middle of the year despite losing 8 kilograms. My anterior left deltoid being smaller than my right one creates an imbalance. Things like this will happen. Setbacks will happen, and generally they will never be accounted for when you set deadlines and goals. Setting deadlines doesn't really make sense because your body doesn't function according to a date you set. It simply reacts to the training you give it. Your joints or muscles won't magically react just because you want to. In this sense, when you put yourself a deadline, you are forgetting about the reality of your body. And when reality clashes with your abstract date, you feel like you are not good enough. In my opinion, deadlines are just a result of comparison. If you are dying, a deadline doesn't need to be stated. It will happen and thus you have a sense of urgency. However, where does the sense of impatience and urgency come from when it comes from any goal you have set yourself? If you enjoy training, reaching your goal on a specific date wouldn't really matter that much. Assume that you're trying to achieve a goal nobody has achieved. The day you achieve that goal arrives and you feel good about it. There is no sense of urgency because you have no point of comparison. The time it took you might as well be the best time you could ever have achieved. It only becomes a problem when you notice that some people achieve it way earlier than you. Now you feel bad about wasting your time, but maybe they had better leverage than you, or they simply adapted faster, or maybe they are dishonest about the time it took them. If instead of setting deadlines to your goals, you were to look at them as good things that will come with time, so long as you continue training, you won't feel left behind, demotivated, or unworthy. Instead of having deadlines, it is better to have optimistic estimations. Don't wish to have, wish to become. When you want to achieve a goal, it's like wanting to have things. When you buy an apple, you are buying the journey it took to create that apple. However, a good physique, or losing weight, or getting absolute strength, or getting a feat of athleticism, or a calisthenic skill, these things can't be bought like an apple. Nobody can give you these goals other than yourself. You need to become worthy in order to achieve them, as opposed to just buying it. In this sense, when you wish to have a goal like a better physique or a calisthenic skill, you need to pass through a process. If you focus on the results, you forget that in order to achieve that goal, you need to first pass through the journey. In a way, when you're frustrated that you haven't reached your goal yet, it's like demanding to be able to do it without going through the whole process it takes. And maybe a part of the journey was the time it personally took you to achieve your destination, which varies according to different people. Instead of worrying why you don't have achieved a goal, you should focus on becoming able to do it. And when you achieve it for the first time, everything will make sense. Just let it come naturally as you get better. If it doesn't happen as you wish, it is okay. If it happens as you wish, then good. So as long as you are training and actively pursuing it, there is no need for deadlines. Don't wish to have, wish to become. Enjoy the process. Seeing it this way might not be the most optimal way, but it definitely will allow you to be the most consistent.